Welcome in here to East Texas Tonight. I hope y'all are having a fantastic evening. It's just now 10:35 here, straight out of our East Texas newsroom. This is East Texas Tonight on East Texas Now. We're going to get things started here, and we're going to take you over here to an interview that you might know who the coach is. We talked to him a little while back, but he's going to be joining us here tonight. He's a coach in the day, but has a life outside of sports. You might think that all coaches, all they do is eat, sleep, and breathe whatever sport they might coach. Well, that's not actually true. Some coaches actually have a different side to them. Everybody, let's go ahead and meet Coach Clay Baker. Title is head football coach and now athletic director, which basically means that if there's any meetings about sports, you're both the person calling the meeting and the one attending it.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of hats that you have to wear when you're an athletic director. Everything that involves sports, and then a whole lot of things that don't involve sports also that we have to take care of.
Well, Coach, you've been coaching for a long time, and I know you've spent a lot of years kind of back and forth in East Texas, but when you came back to Carlisle, did it feel like coming home, like when someone leaves East Texas for a while and realizes, you know what, nowhere else does Friday Night Lights like this place?
Yeah, it did. Carlisle is a special place. I enjoy the small school environment. The community there is great. The administration's great. The kids are great as well. And the majority of the kids that we got in the locker room now, when I came back, I've coached their older brothers, their uncles, possibly even some of them's dads. So it's a special place, and it's great to be a part of it.
Okay. Well, Coach, let's talk a little bit more about you because I know most people they're like, man, he's the athletic director, he's the football coach, he doesn't really have a life outside of school, and that's not true because I know everybody has a life outside of school. But what people don't realize is that it's hard to believe, but it's actually true. You might do things outside of sports. So, Coach, when you're not watching game film, drawing up plays, or pacing on the sidelines on a Friday night, what does Coach Clay Baker do for fun?
Well, it still involves sports. It just doesn't involve the school sports. It involves my kids' sports. I've got four little ones, an 11-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 5-year-old. And every one of them are involved in sports. So anytime I get an opportunity to go work them out, go practice them, go attend their practices, attend their tournaments and games, I absolutely love it. If I'm not doing sports at Carlisle, I want to be with my family, around my kids, watching them get to do what they enjoy doing. So my time involves sports just about 24/7. It's just a little bit different when it's not at the school.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about something other than sports. Are we talking fishing, grilling, hunting? Are you the kind of guy that relaxes by watching more football? What is it that you like to do besides sports?
Yeah, there's really not much. It's anything with my family, honestly, even if it's them not doing sports, this profession takes so much time away from your own family that when you get an opportunity to enjoy them, which involves anything, going vacations, just going outside, doing things with them, being as active as I can with them. I really don't do a whole lot of the fishing, hunting, none of that stuff. It's more just, I mean, for example, we're on spring break this week, and if I didn't have any games to attend, I've been with my kids, taking them down the road to the field, and we've been doing speed drills, working out, practicing, things like that. I enjoy that, and I enjoy getting to be a dad and watch them have fun getting to do that.
Okay, well, every coach has some type of hidden talent. And I know you have one. I know you have one. It's deep down in there. And all of your players probably don't know about it. So let's clear this up right now. Coach, if the Carlisle coaching staff had a talent show, are you the guy that can cook the best brisket, the guy that can hit a
Oh.
baseball 300 feet, or the guy that secretly has the best dance moves at the end of the season banquet? Which one is it?
It's definitely not cook the best brisket. I'm not very good at that. I probably wouldn't do the dance moves either. It would. I know it's boring, but it would have to be something sports related. I feel like I could still hit a baseball a decent distance if we wanted to do that. I also feel like I could probably have the best vertical in our staff and in our field house. We've done measurements with our kids, and I've out jumped every one of them. So I feel like that maybe that's a hidden talent for me is still being fairly athletic at the age that I'm at.
Oh my goodness. Well, every coach has one skill that just surprises people, and it's not just your skills on the field or as a director, but you are also a dad, and so you've got some kids, and you've mastered up some skills in that area, and some very important dad skills. So we need to know: are you the grill master of the house, road trip DJ, or a dad joke champion in your family?
I'm definitely not the grill master. I feel like I got some decent dad jokes, maybe, but the kids don't typically laugh at them. But I do always control the music, so I guess I'd have to go with the DJ. And we have road trips just about every weekend, going to tournaments and this and that. So I'm usually the one that's trying to pick the playlist, depending on if it's one of my daughters or if it's my son, to try to help get them pumped up a little bit and motivated. And then we a little dance skills involved when we do get the music rolling.
Okay, what kind of music and what kind of dancing?
The dancing is nothing special because I'm typically driving also. So it's as much as I can do while still having at least one hand on the wheel and trying to get somebody to join me with the rest of them that are probably asleep in the back. And it's maybe just me and one other kid that's still awake. The music just depends. If we're going to one of my daughter's games, it's typically something that is she's a big softball player, and there's some softball songs that are out. So we'll typically play one of those or
Fun
something.
fact: I played college softball for 5.5 years.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, we're in that world right now, and that's a world that I did not grow up in because I did not have any sisters. We had no girls in my family, so that is a complete different world for me. It's
It's a
completely
fun,
different
long
than baseball.
journey.
It is. The long part is definitely right. The tournaments for softball are completely different than the tournaments for baseball. Those are some long days, but I enjoy it. Like I said, I love getting to sit back and be a fan. And I don't coach when it comes to my kids playing sports, except for, I mean, I'll work them out. But when it comes to coaching teams, I don't do that. I like to be able to sit in the stands and be a dad and actually enjoy it and take my coaching hat off for a little bit.
Okay, well, let's get back here to talk a little bit more about dad jokes. If you had to make one dad
Oh,
joke
no.
to your girls, or maybe even just your team, what would be your ultimate dad joke right
I knew you were going to put me on the spot when I said that, and don't. I really don't have one, and I am completely blank on trying to think of one. I know that's not fun, but as soon as I said that, I knew you were going to put me on the spot, and I have zero dad jokes in me right now. I typically just, when they make a comment, I'll try to make some other comment back that's not really a dad joke, but I'm about the only one in the car laugh. I don't know if that's because everybody else sleeps every time we drive a road trip, except for me and, like I said, maybe one other kid. But they usually don't find me quite a bit as humorous as I do.
now? So, would you say out of your coaching staff on the football squad, would you say that you are the dad joke champion of the team?
Uh, Probably not. No. We've got quite a few others that, and my dad is actually on my coaching staff, so I could still get a dad joke from my actual dad. He's my defensive coordinator, so it's fun having him in the room too.
I love it. I love it. Well, speaking of football life, Friday night lights in Texas, they're special. A lot of people know that here to East Texas. The lights, the crowd, the band, the tunnel run. Coach, when that moment hits right before kickoff and the team runs onto the field, do you still get that same excitement you had when you first started coaching?
I do. That's part of the reason that I got into coaching originally, because kind of like a lot of people say, when you can't play it anymore, then you try to teach someone else or help someone else do it. Plus, you still get that adrenaline rush. There's not much like a Friday night pregame in the locker room before you go out having that pregame speech, or when your kids are running out of the tunnel and the band's playing the school song or the opening kickoff or the national anthem. I mean, all those still give me chills. You still get a little bit of that feeling that, even though you can't anymore, you get a little bit of that feeling that you're about to suit up and go play a game. So it's about as close to that feeling as you can get at my age.
Well, let's kind of talk about this before we wrap things up. Honestly, I think that's what people love so much about great coaches. After all the years, you still love the game as much as you did when you first stepped onto that field, and you love your players. But we need to know one more thing. If you weren't coaching football, what do you think you would be
Ooh,
doing right now?
that's tough. It would still have something to do with athletics or sports. I did get out for 1 year. I was in coaching, I want to say, for 2 to 3 years, and I got out for 1 year, and I was a personal trainer and a nutritionist. So I guess it would still be something along that line. I would still want to train athletes, maybe doing speed and weights and things like that. So it would be something along the lines of a facility where you're working speed and weights for athletes and things like that. I know that's not fun, but sport, my whole life revolves around sports and my family.
I love it. Well, I'm guessing whatever it would be, you'd still be in charge because, I mean, that's literally what you do.
I would like to be, yeah. I have been for a while, so I would still like to be, yeah.
All right. Well, Coach Baker, everybody leading Carlisle Athletics, it was great to have you on here to East Texas tonight, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you later.
Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Of course. All right, everybody. Well, that was Coach Clay Baker, who joined us just weeks ago, and we got to chat with him tonight here on East Texas tonight. It's actually really cool to understand that a coach does not stay on the field 24/7. Everybody has a life outside of their normal day-to-day job, so I thought that was pretty interesting. All right, so now it's time to buckle up. We're taking you back in time to 2008. All right, everybody. So with that, let's talk about your time machine. Tonight, we're taking you back to 2008. And this was because there was sightings of a massive silent craft spotted in Stephenville, Texas, sparking international headlines. At the time of this experience, physics experts at LeTourneau offered more terrestrial explanations for what happened in the East Texas sky.
Stephenville resident Ricky Sorrell says friends made fun of him when he told them he saw a flat metallic object hovering over his head while deer hunting. But he decided to come forward after reading similar accounts in the local paper. Several dozen people, including a pilot, county constable, and business owners, insist they've seen a large silent object with bright lights flying low and fast.
And I did just like this, and I could see it. And if you look at the trees, you know, it's right here. I mean, it's 300 foot up, right here.
Angela Joyner is a reporter at the town's newspaper, the Stephenville Empire Tribune. For days now, she's been getting emails from people who claim they saw the UFO.
It kind of is the talk of the town right now.
And all the reports are eerily similar.
It was very intense, bright lights. I keep hearing that over and over and over, and they spanned a wide area.
Some reported seeing fighter jets chasing it, but officials at the region's 2 Air Force bases say none of their aircraft was in the area at the time of the sightings. While federal officials insist there is a logical explanation, locals swear that it was larger, quieter, faster, and lower to the ground than an airplane.
It's so fast when it took off, you know, and it made not a sound.
So for now, the residents of this Texas town will keep their eyes on the skies. The truth is out there.
Well, with that, that was our time machine back to 2008. Talking about UFOs in 2008, it's pretty crazy. Well, it's still crazy today, don't get me wrong. Whether it was a classified military project or simply a civilian aircraft caught in an unusual light, the Stephenville incident remains a defining moment for the community. All right, that's all here for your time machine. All right, everybody. So with that, let's take you back now to a little bit of some updates for you guys. Let's talk about a writing program in North Carolina that's continuing after the loss of their therapy animal.
Classroom. In the back of a therapy horse named Tonto becomes a desk for 8-year-old Scarlett. She has a neurological disorder, and her mom says a traditional classroom can be tough.
We got with a speech therapist who diagnosed her with apraxia, and then she was having delays in a lot of her movement, which was dyspraxia of the whole body.
So Scarlett comes here twice a week for equine therapy.
I incorporate the equine movement for sensory regulation, for calming, and for focus. Once a child is regulated and centered, they can learn better, they can recall better.
Scarlett is one of about 60 riders, each with different needs, but each relying on specialized care.
Just that it's such a magic to see a child that maybe is struggling to walk or struggling to communicate, and they come in here and they get up on that big horse and they're able to do things that other people take for granted. And they feel successful and they feel empowered.
But inside the barn, the loss is still fresh, especially without Artie.
He was with us for 20 years. He was the backbone of the program for those 20 years. And every rider, every family, every child, every volunteer, every staff member had huge attachment to him, and he was the face of the program for so long. And those are big shoes to fill. Well, hello, good morning. Hi.
Still, the mission hasn't changed. With just 7 horses now in the program, they're searching for new ones with the right temperament and the right training.
To prepare them for kids that yell, kids that clap, kids that might get scoochy and move around a lot in the saddle. And those are things that not every horse is ready for.
And Tonto knows when he's in the arena, it's time to work and time to help Scarlett.
I want to see her calm. I don't want to see her fidgeting. I want to see her focused.
Scarlett's mom says she's seen breakthroughs she once worried might never come.
Within months, words I'd never heard. I'd waited until she was, how old were you? Let's see, 6 and a half. And she finally said, I love you. We're just consistently seeing just great, significant progress. And we come here, they've been amazing here. We see other kids here, you know, with just special needs. And the world calls them different, but God calls us chosen. And here they get to be in an element where they're loved and seen as normal. The horses love them. I just love it here.
When can the brown one get neutered? When can the brown one get neutered? 6 months.
All right, everybody. Now, that was the latest there on that story. Now let's take you over here to talk a little bit more about educational, because high school seniors are getting a jump start on college. Check this out.
On campus can be complicated.
So right now I'm walking to my 8 a.m. class.
But it's helping 17-year-old Miranda Rodriguez Ramirez on her way to academic success.
I was actually kind of worried going into next year for college, a little bit that I wasn't going to be prepared. But taking these classes and being in an actual college environment has made me feel more prepared.
Make sure you have your name on this, please.
Miranda is taking classes at Colorado Community College of Aurora, her senior year of high school at Rocky Mountain Prep Rise.
So essentially, instead of taking more classes at high school, we have the opportunity to go take actual college classes and get that experience and see what it's like.
So if we have a chromosome.
It's through a program called Peak Plus, a dual enrollment initiative that offers high school seniors a chance to earn college credit in a college setting.
I wanted to partake in the program because I was feeling a little bit unprepared, or more not unprepared because of the school, but more in myself.
And they feel a little bit more acquainted with walking on the college campus, which they wouldn't normally do if we just send them off straight from high school.
Becky Prieto is the College Access Director of R&P Rise. She believes the free first-hand higher education experience is helping.
Because they do start as sophomores from so many credits that they get, that's already one less year that they have to worry about for figuring out how to pay for college.
The program provides free tuition, transportation, and meals. Students can earn between 11 and 15 credits per semester.
As a first-gen student myself, I think about 10 years ago, we didn't have programs that help students get all the answers that they needed.
Miranda is also a first-generation student. She says the program is working.
I've actually been talking to a lot of my counselors at school, figuring out how to deal with the finances, what's right for me, what is actually going into the works of a first generation student who doesn't really know how college works.
For students like Miranda, it's a path to what's next.
I am committed to Northwestern University. That's what I'll be attending in the fall. And I feel really happy that I was able to get this experience and see what it's like and just enjoy my final moments as a senior, but in college.
In Aurora,
In my perspective, I would take it 100%.
Byron Reed, 9 News.
Lowercase t equals dwarf. What happens during S phase?
All right, everybody. Now that was the latest there on high school seniors getting that jump start. All right, now let's take you over here to talk about your health and specifically women's health, a unique program bridging the gap between homeless services and healthcare. And this is to deliver healthier babies to new moms in need.
Brianna Walker is navigating pregnancy with support from the Honey program.
They make sure that you get everything you need because it's not just for you, it's for a life that's growing.
Honey, which stands for Housing Our Newborns, Empowering You, is designed to support and accompany women who are pregnant and experiencing homelessness.
You never really meet people who you can always call at a low point, who still be there supportive to help you and who don't make you feel like it's your fault.
Run by Community of Hope, a nonprofit and community health center in the District of Columbia, Honey meets expecting mothers where they are and stays with them during one of the most vulnerable moments of their lives.
Making sure you like your doctor, helping you find a doctor and a prenatal care work that you enjoy, having access to food, helping you get car seats, helping you plan for your birth.
Started in 2023, the program is offered at no cost to eligible expecting moms and is a partnership with the D.C. Department of Human Services, which provides housing support and resources.
Making sure that the family has everything that they need while they're also exiting homelessness, hopefully before the birth of the child.
That community care is having an impact. An independent evaluation done by George Washington University found during its first 2 years, Honey participants experienced lower rates of preterm births and low birth weights compared to Medicaid-funded births both nationally and in D.C.
It was my first pregnancy.
Through Honey, Callie Proctor learned she was a high-risk pregnancy and got connected with specialists prior to the birth of her son Jackson in 2025.
I went from, I would say, just nervous to just more confident during my pregnancy with them.
And as more Americans struggle to make ends meet, there's hope this could be a model for other communities.
Homelessness providers don't know anything about healthcare. Healthcare providers don't know anything about homelessness. This program, I think, plays an important role in bridging those two different silos.
Without those resources, it just puts you in a really bad situation for the whole family. It's life-changing.
In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida.
All right, everybody. It is just now 10:58. We'll see you guys here tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. But thanks for watching East Texas Tonight on East Texas Now.